Brenay Kennard and Tim Montague debacle. Honey, it is a lot. It is a lot. Peach McIntyre says she has TikTok on lock, but I beg to differ, y'all. Brenay and Tim has got the TikTok girlies shook. It's a whole thing over there. Um, I haven't really, I've never really done a deep dive into Tim and Brenay just because it's so low vibrational. Just like Peach McIntyre, I had to give the Peach McIntyre stuff a break. I had to get away from it. It was just too much. However, I will be covering my opinion on Peach McIntyre and Brenay Kennard. I feel like there's a lot of similarities between these two girls outside of their chokehold on TikTok. Brenay has like 3 million subscribers over there on TikTok. She's really doing her thing, keeping everyone tuned in. Um, she's younger than Peach, so I don't know. I guess you got to kind of give her a little bit more grace. She has a lot to learn about life, and I think she's going to learn it. Hopefully, she learns it. But she. So anyway, before I get into all of that, though, you guys know I got to watch my back because I'm not just anybody. So let me do the copyright and no bullying. Um, Let me get that out the way. Um, Let me see. Where did I put it, guys? And thanks for hitting that like button when you come on in. Come on in. Um, all right, there we go. Copyright disclaimer. No harassment. Oh, that's not the copyright disclaimer. Here is the copyright and harassment disclaimer. This video is made for educational and commentary purposes only under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowing for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All content, including clips, images, and commentary, is used under fair use and remains the property of its respective owners. Okay. Also, this channel does not condone harassment, hate speech, or bullying of any kind. The opinions expressed are for discussion and entertainment purposes only. Only please do not contact, attack, or threaten anyone mentioned or shown in this video. Okay, so now that we got those disclaimers out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff. Fun stuff being my pajama jammy jam, which is coming up this Saturday. Guys, let me tell you, I canceled the pajama jammy jam. It was supposed to take place last Saturday, and I I put out some flyers. I asked the members, "Look, do you guys have your pajamas?" No one said anything. All right, I guess everybody was too cool for school. Anywho, when we get to Saturday, everybody was like, "Well, I was waiting for you to start." Okay, well, when I sent out the bird card, like, nobody said anything, nobody responded. So anyway, anywho, we got down to the meat and potatoes. And yes, people would like to come to the Pajama Jammy Jam. It's lit. I understand why they do want to come. Now, if you would like to come, all you have to do is head over to my homepage, click join, and become a big money getting, big money stepping money getter. All right. And you too could partake in the fun. Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So, it gets dark earlier. It's fall. We're in the house more, but that doesn't mean we can't still have fun. It's going to be for members only once again, so it won't be all over YouTube. And I think people like that a lot better because they can feel a little bit more freer. Our pajama jammy jams, they go way into the night. There will be an after party as well. So be prepared because we're going to turn up. Bring your snacks, bring your drinks, and make sure you have on a cute pair of PJs because I will also be giving out a cash prize for the best PJs. So you have to be willing to have on some cute PJs and come on camera. All right. Or you don't have to. You can just stay in the audience and chill. We'll be doing trivia games. You can win a little cash prize for that. Well, not little. I'm a big money stepper. Let me just be clear. No, but for real. I give out cash prizes throughout the night and we have fun. We play trivia, we ask 21 questions. I have some fun new games coming up as well. This will be part 3 of the pajama party and it's just a perk that I'm allowing for my members. I did it a couple of times just for everybody. People really loved it, and you know, people were just like, let's run it back," and so I just decided to keep it going. But from now on, just give it as an exclusive perk for my members. And also, you get to use cool emojis. You also get access to other exclusive content as well. So, and I got to update. I got to update my members on some exclusive content because I haven't really done anything for November, and we're already at November 4th. But yeah, so wait a minute. Let me see if I can put the link into the bio and pin. I mean, to the comments and go ahead and pin it for you guys. So if you guys, no pressure, no pressure. Um, but everybody is welcome who is a member. So let me see if I can get that for you guys real quick. Um, and yeah, so tonight we'll be talking about the Brenay trial. I'll be updating you guys all on that. And we'll also tie Peach McIntyre into this. Hey, Rich, Jazzy said you and her will be doing the after party. Rich is my guy. Rich has been there helping me host both pajama parties. He is so dope. He is so live. He helps me stay on point. So if you guys know Rich, if you've ever been to one of his lives, you already know he is the homie. That's my bro right there. So I'm doing great. How about yourself, Rich? How are you doing tonight? Hey, Tex. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Nikita. How are you? How are you ladies doing tonight? How's everything going? Let me see. Wait a minute. I just had that. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, that is getting on my nerves. Okay, let's see. There we go. I talked to Smooth today. He said that he's going to host it with Jazzy. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because Jazzy said that he may have something to do. So she was going to do it with you. Listen, Linda. If they got the after party, then I need you with me, boo. I need you to come help me host this thing. If they're going to do the after party, then you can help me. And since it's members only, um, I'm only going to hand that link to people who are a member. So, but the after party, I don't know how they're going to do the after party. Maybe they want to do the after party private. I don't know. That's going to be up to them how they choose to do that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it for members only. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me see. Why does it always do that? I hate that. It won't let me comment on my live. I hate that when it does that. Guys, thank you for bearing with me. Okay, here we go. Now I can put the link to members on to join the membership, and then I pinned it in the Chiz app. So there you guys go. If you would like to join, it's $2.99. You get access to exclusive emojis, first dibs on exclusive content for money getters only. You also get access to a lot of other things. So just check that out. And yeah. So who else is in the Chiz app before I get started? Okay, I said hello to everyone. Hey, Pokedex Gaming. Thanks for tuning in as well. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like button for me. But let me give you a little backstory on Tim and Brenay Kennard. Tim Montague and Brenay Kennard. Okay, so when I first got on TikTok, I would see, and I'm going to do this as fast as I can. I used to see Brenay, and she made you stop because first of all, she had these large, I guess I would say, boobs, very, very large. And not only that, she had these long nails, like long nails with all these different charms on her fingers. And I'm like, how are you eating? What are you doing all these charms? And she had all these bangles and different stuff. So that's, she had a striking appearance that made you want to stop and just like, if nothing else, like it wasn't a striking appearance like, ooh, she's beautiful or ooh, she's crazy looking. It was just like, wait a minute, what does she got going on? Because she had a lot going on. She had like all these bracelets, jingle jangling. She had all these nails, and then you see her eating. It was a whole thing. So that's how I just, she would just come across my page. And then I didn't see her for a long time. She was married. A lot of her content would be behind about her, doing her nails, laying her lace fronts, putting her makeup on, listening to gospel music, y'all, while she does this stuff, right? Or you see her and her husband going out to eat. And I just thought it was about body positive because, like I said, she has a different type of shape, right? And here she is, loud and proud, married and all of that on TikTok. So it was just like, refreshing to see someone being themselves and being successful at it. And I feel like with TikTok, a lot of people do that. You can be disabled, you can be overweight. As long as you are yourself, you can make it over on TikTok. And I like that. I love that for people. So anyway, about a year later, I start seeing it like once somebody becomes popular on TikTok, then they start getting spoof pages, right? Then that's how you know you made it. When others start imitating you and copying you, they do it with Nora Smith and Lucky. They do it with everybody. So, um, I watched a few of her videos or whatever, but I wasn't really like, I don't know if I was following her. She would just come across my timeline or my For You page here and there. And so finally, she said she was breaking up with her husband. I'm like, oh, I wonder why she's breaking up with her husband. And I always thought the husband was like a little weird. You know what I mean? I said, And he always seemed so stoic. So a lot of people would say that it didn't seem like he loved her or liked her like that. But looks can be deceiving because he really did like her. He just was different. He just had a different way of being. So, okay, boom. She moves out and he's still helping her move and all of that, it seems like at first. And then all of a sudden, here comes Tim, always at her place. Who is Tim? Tim is Brenay's childhood boyfriend from like years before. Okay. Tim and Brenay used to go together, but it seems that Tim's father couldn't stand Brenay. Tim Brenay has a twin sister that looks identical to her. They look very identical, although her sister Corinne is a little easier on the eyes, a little, she's not as big as Brenay. And sister Corinne has two children. And we would often see Brenay with her sister and her kids and just really a lot of family content or whatever. So anyway, Brenay and her husband, Devin, hung out with Tim and his wife, Akira, a lot throughout the past year or whatever, like about 22, 23. They were hanging out. You know, you would see Brenay and Akira a lot. Brenay and Akira and Tim and Devin out on double dating or whatever. You know, they had the little childhood romance, but it seemed everybody had moved on. Those two were married. And then Tim and Devin are supposedly cousins. Are you guys keeping up? Put a one in the chat if you're keeping up with what I'm putting down. So, anyway, Brenay leaves Devin and she has a new apartment. And suddenly, Tim is showing up all the time. And at first, it was like, me and Tim are friends. I don't care what you people think, blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you guys don't know what's going on. You don't know half of the story. You don't even know. Wait till you find out. You're going to all feel so dumb. Right, Rich? This is what Brenay was telling everybody for a year. You guys are all going to feel so stupid. You don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know the have, blah, blah, blah. And so then, without warning, Akira sues Brenay for alienation of affection. Apparently, in North Carolina and South Carolina, in those southern states, if somebody starts sleeping with your spouse, you can sue them. And that's what Akira did. Also, if someone starts harassing you online or using their platform to cyberbully you, you can get a restraining order on them. Now, listen, Carisha McCauley, if you're listening in, or somebody, if you're listening in, this is what Carisha Woods' baby mama should be doing. Because, honey, Akira is going to show her how you show a bitch how you go down the slide. Because that's what she did. For about a year and a half, Brenay was explaining herself, debating, going back and forth. She took time off TikTok because when she started sleeping with that woman's husband, you can already imagine. TikTok went up in flames. She got some here and there. You would see people say, "Oh, it's her business. Why are you guys worried about it? What does it have to do with you?" But for the most part, she received so much backlash because, again, Brenay and her husband Devin had went out double dating with Tim and his wife Akira several times. Brenay and her husband Devin would hang out in their house. They would do content together. Brenay and Akira would go out shopping together. They were all friends, right? And so this was scandalous. You know, you moved this man right in your house. Like, no one was going to notice that you were now with your best friend's husband and your man's cousin. And now all of a sudden, oh, that wasn't his cousin. They're not cousins. And number two, oh, me and Akira wasn't really friends. I was never their kids' godparents. But she will say that their children were her grandkids, her godkids. Brenay and Devin never had kids. But that's what she would say. So now all of a sudden that she's with her man, they were having problems anyway. They were already breaking up. He cheated before. She wasn't the reason for them breaking up. Y'all, wait till you hear what went down at court because once court happened, again, remember, Akira sued Brenay for alienation of affection. When she did this, she got an attorney. She's suing her for $1 million. $1 million. Okay. And the trial is a whole circus right now. You have so many content creators down there in court. You have a lot of spectators down there. They're taunting Brenay and Tim, want to give her a piece of their mind, especially since they've been hearing, what took place that we didn't know about because guess what Akira did? Akira got quiet. She didn't say a word on social media. She let Brenay do all the talking, all the explaining, all the BS. Her and Tim, she let them go on and just basically embarrass and humiliate that girl. She had to see them loving each other out loud while she had to move on and be a mother to her and Tim's children. Now, Devin and Akira did this right. They both sued Tim and Brenay. Okay, that's number one. They sued them. Number two, they said very little on social media. Everybody for months, everybody was wondering, what is Devin thinking about all of this? What is Devin thinking about all of this? Honey, what Devin was thinking, he was very hurt. He was so hurt. So was Akira. They were both hurt. Now, when Devin and Akira were with Tim and Brenay, everybody was overweight. Everybody looked crazy. Devin and Akira, they turned those frowns upside down. They got in the gym, baby, and they lost the weight, and they both are looking good. Meanwhile, Tim and Brenay, not so good. It's a lot. This is why people are on social media all day, Rich. This is why people are so into the Peach McIntyre drama because it's like real life people and it's better than reality TV. Real talk. It really is. You guys, please hit my like button when you come in. It gets real juicy. So I'm gonna start playing you guys the court proceedings. Well, actually, um, you cannot do any recording in court, but some people have been doing it. And as you'll hear from the court spectators who are going in and watching the trial and coming back and giving us updates, the judge is at his wits' end. He is almost ready to um, mistrial this case, and then they'll have to do it all over again. Although it is looking like the case is going into the wife's favor. But I'm going to let you guys start hearing this. We'll react. It's a pretty long video, but we'll get through it. And then after we are finished with the video, I'll give you all my take on Brenay and how she and Peach McIntyre have a lot in common. So, you guys ready to hear? Do you guys have pretty much know what's going on? Let me know. Let me know. All right, let's go ahead and play the video. So the wife Akira is saying that because of the stress of everything that was going on with her husband Tim and Brenay, she lost her child. It's a whole lot, y'all. So the wife had no idea what was going on with Tim and Brenay. And the whole time, Tim is still sleeping with his wife, Akira.
Brenay being there, how Brenay ended up there. Brenay was there twice. The first time that she was there, her say, because they asked, why was she there? It was she wanted to come and spend the holidays with them. She didn't want to go to her family for the holiday because she was working a lot. And it's to make some clarity as to, we asked her why she would be with her family. That girl said that Brenay told her that her family all is they she has to financially, help them all the time. And um the second time she said, I allowed Brenay to come to my house because Tim called all hysterical saying that Devin booked up and wanted to put hands on Brenay. And she said, I found that to be a lie. And
So basically, what Brenay did was concocted a story that her husband Devin, that she was in fear of him doing something to her, that he acted like he was going to harm her. She could have went to her mother's and her sisters, but she said she always had to buy them something or give them something, so she didn't want to go over there with them. And she ended up going to Brenay and Tim, I mean, and to Akira and Tim's house because her husband, quote unquote, was trying to attack her.
y'all know they said they had concocted up this story so that she could come over there and stay the night. She was like, it got to the point where just Brenay had just started crossing boundaries. And so Robin asked her, well, what do you mean crossing boundaries? And she was like, well, she was fixing Tim plates instead of fixing her husband plate. Or she'll be sitting over here with my husband instead of sitting over there with her husband. And she talked about doing. She said Brenay stayed out, in the front part of the house of the living room, and she was like with a trail of snacks, just in bottles. What we see Brenay do on live, yeah, a trail of snacks and
Not a trail of snacks in empty bottles.
in bottles, just there. And you know, she had these oversized shirts. She said, but they still were tight. And she told her, well, you need to put on a bra. Brenay said she could, it was hard for.
If you're just coming in, please hit the like button. Also, as the video is playing, there may be some spaces where there's no sound, and that's because I edited out all of the profanity and trigger words so that, you know, YouTube won't try to go upside my head too much. So when you hear those little empty spaces without sound, that's just me and my amateur editing.
Her to wear a bra because she had back pain, and she said something about her pants. Her the she said volleyball shorts. This how she described the shortness of Brenay's pants, and she said I shouldn't see your pants off in your crouch and your booty cheeks. And she said I said something, to Brenay, but of course we know how Brenay is. She don't listen. So she was like, she said something to Devin, telling Devin, to get your wife. So she was like, she had got uncomfortable within her own home. Um, she was talking to Tim about it. She had asked Brenay to leave. Brenay told her, Tim wants me here. Tim wants me here.
You hear that? Imagine your friend comes over because her man is going upside her head or trying to go upside her head. And then she's at your house being disrespectful. And when you tell her she got to bounce, she tells you that your husband wants her there. Man, we would have had a problem because what do you mean my husband wants you at my house? You got to go.
Tim wants her here. she wouldn't leave. So she said grandma came to a house. When her grandma came to the house, she looked and saw how the house was nasty because of Brenay. And she said she took her kids in the room because she just didn't know what was going to happen. And her grandma and Brenay got to arguing. She said when her grandma Brenay got to arguing, she told her to leave the house. Brenay told her the same thing she had said to Akira. Tim wants her there, and she wasn't going nowhere.
She wasn't going anywhere. Tim wants her there. First of all, you're disrespecting my home by nastying it up with your junk food, attracting ants and roaches with snack bags, packages of chips, and empty soda bottles everywhere. And then when my granny comes to the crib, you're going to tell her, my husband wants you there. You're not going anywhere. Like, what's going on? Because I can't think on any planet or any lifetime at any where me and my family wouldn't have been tearing up tearing up that whole street with this girl. Tim wants you there. You're not going anywhere. Well, how do you get those type of cojones to tell somebody you're not leaving their house and you don't live there and they let you into their home to help you?
So she was like, she don't like all that conflict and people arguing and stuff like that. It bothers her, and she was like, at one point she just started crying. She got real lightheaded. She was on the floor, just bawling because it was just too much with the grandmama and Brenay just going back and forth. And Sherry was there. She's the lady that was helping.
So that's the first reactor. This the second reactor is going to basically give us the rest of the updates. But before we get there, if you're just tuning in, please hit the like button for me. Also, from what I can ascertain from what I'm hearing, it appears that Akira was just really like easygoing and she is non-confrontational, and Brenay took advantage of that. Same thing with her husband, Devin. And once you hear how Brenay did her husband, oh baby, it's like, girl. And that's why I said the Jezebel spirit is real. That's what I put on the thumbnail. A lot of people say, well, he's his own man, it's up to him. Listen, the Jezebel spirit is a spirit. Most of the time, when it comes to adulterous relationships, it's usually a woman sleeping with a married man, right? But you don't hear a lot about a married man. I mean, a single woman. Oh, let me back up. You don't hear a lot about a single man sleeping with a married woman. Woman, that's rare. That doesn't happen a lot. Most of the time, when it comes to adulterous relationships, men respect. I know people think men are dogs, but men tend to respect other men's, you know, I don't want to say property, but their wives and their homes. Men hold that in high regard. They feel like, okay, if I'm married, if you come trying to talk about messing with my wife or coming on my turf, it's a problem. It's gonna be war. So men usually don't cross that boundary. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the chat. And that's because they know if they cross that line with somebody's wife, they're walking into uncharted territory or dangerous waters. Let's just say that they don't know how that man might respond. Same thing with a woman. Hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And so when you get to playing with people's husbands, you don't know how that wife may react. But most of the time, it's not as crucial as it is with a man. A man might sleep with the wife of another man, but that's all it'll be because he'll be thinking to himself, well, I can't trust her. Look at what she's doing to her husband. And he may sleep with her, but he's not going to go any further than that in most cases. So let's just say that. But in Tim's case, I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like I'm putting it all off on Brenay because Y'all, wait till you hear about this twin sister, Corinne and Tim. Let me just let y'all finish hearing this because this, when I tell you, and again, remember at the beginning of this live, I told you for the last year and a half, Brenay has been repeating, you guys don't know the half of the story. Wait till this is what she's been saying. Wait until the trial. You guys are going to hear the truth, and wait until you hear the truth. You guys are going to feel gonna feel so stupid. That's what she's been telling us all along. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and continue to play this.
Akira through therapy. It was stated Akira is supposed to receive $991 a month in child support from Timothy Flood and Montague. He is also behind $16,000 in child support. Tim claims that he paid the child support and he actually never did. Brenay objected. Her objection was sustained.
So now, not only did Tim walk out on his family, he isn't even paying his child support. And here he is on almost every video with Brenay. Mind you, Brenay has 2.9 million followers on TikTok alone. She's also on Snapchat and she's also on Facebook. She has a large following all across social media. She's not really as big on YouTube. Um, as evidenced by the low amount of people in in the live tonight. She's not really big on YouTube. However, she is huge on TikTok. Like if you go on TikTok and type in Brenay and Tim, you're going to find out so much information. You're going to see so much commentary and reactions just to this whole scandalous debacle. I'm telling you.
The judge re-asked Akira what happened. Akira says she has never received a dime ever since the child support order took place. Brenay objected. Objection overruled. Akira stated that she's the only one that's paying daycare for her children. Brenay objected. Objection overruled. It was stated that Brenay, Tim's mom, Tim's sister, Tim's god sister, and a couple of other family members showed up to the hospital when Akira and her children got into the car accident. It was stated that Akira and her children needed to be checked out. It was stated that Akira children were able to be checked out, but currently she was not able to be checked out at the time due to the long wait in the waiting room.
Y'all, wait until you hear this mess. Brenay, like, girl, like you, like, I just want to know what Tim got going on down there. Is it made of gold? Like, you are pushing the line. I could never do this to a mom. I could never do this to somebody's wife. Like, come on. This is crazy.
During that time, Tim brung Brenay once everything was over, and he was trying to take the children away. Akira looked at Tim and said, "To give me my son back, bring me my kids back." He pulled Bailey and proceeded to walk off. Akira was coming behind Tim. Somehow he let go of Jacoby's hand. Brenay grabbed Jacoby and started walking off. Brenay looked at Akira looked at Brenay and said, "Bring me my son." Akira stated that Brenay smirked at her and she proceeded to walk off anyway. The altercation ended up outside because they did not want it in.
Like, now do you understand why I say this whole situation reminds me of Peach McIntyre and her husband Wood, how she crosses the line, paying her husband's child support, paying $1 a day, taunting his baby mama, harassing his baby mama all over social media. Same thing with Brenay. Like, in what world is it okay for you to snatch another woman's son and drag him off? And then for Tim to allow you to do that, to mob up to the hospital with all of your family and friends and still basically kidnap the kids from the wife. The wife isn't doing anything to your children. So why are you going to the hospital to basically kidnap your kids from your wife? Y'all, this, I mean, And then people say, "Oh, what do you got against marriage?" Stuff like this, because not every marriage ends like this, and these people are very young, but a lot of them do. A lot of them end so horribly. I'm telling you, I don't know what I would do. Like, they would have to come handcuff me if some woman thought it was okay to snatch my child and drag them out of the hospital. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I'm telling you. Like, what do you guys think of this so far? Um, what would you guys do if you were in Akira's situation? Hey, Butterfly, how are you doing? I had to get on my other phone because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not seeing any updates in the chat. How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. That's crazy. She really brought that mess to that lady house. Like, how in the world can she think that her actions were rich? I'm not gonna advise you to go down that rabbit hole because, honey, when I tell you Tim and Brenay will have you ready to throw your phone with the audacity, the level of audacity. Wait till you finish hearing it. I'm telling y'all, these people, a lot of it is just social media gone wrong. Because the whole time I'm hearing about this stuff, I'm like, this has got to be a skit. This has got to be for social media. And I'm of half a mind to think that it still is on Tim and Brenay's part because the levels that they are willing to go to, I can't even. I really cannot.
The hospital, Akira stated that Tim's mom put her in a headlock because she wanted to get her children back. Unfortunately, Akira was not able to recover her children, so unfortunately, they did leave with Brenay and Tim, which she was very highly upset about it. Brenay objected, objection sustained. Akira did state that the mom put her in a headlock, and that made her very uncomfortable.
So, do you guys get what's going on? Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, I did that right in the microphone. Sorry, I was eating the sub earlier. Tomatoes, lettuce, all of the things. But listen, so Tim mobs up to the hospital where his wife, at the time, Akira, was with their son and daughter. They had just been in a vehicular accident, and her and the children were getting checked out. So Tim, I guess she must have called him bad mistake. He is showing that he cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. So I guess what she needs to do moving forward, unless the court says otherwise, is to let him know things that took place with the children after the fact, because she probably thought to herself, I'm calling my husband, letting him know me and my and his children were in an accident. She probably thought to herself, he's going to come see about us. No, he got to the hospital and he was with Brenay, his lover, his mother, his god sister, and his sister. And when they got there, they took the kids from Akira. Why, I do not know. And Akira said his mother even placed her in a headlock. What? And they took the children from her from the hospital. When I tell you, it would have been some slow singing and flower bringing. Because the way I would have got my family involved, honey.
Akira stated that when they were taking away Bailey kept turning around and she was crying. She knows Akira stated that Bailey and her are really close simply because that's a really good mother-daughter relationship. When Bailey was being taken away from her mom, she was crying. Nobody cared. When Akira was put in the headlock by Timothy Montague's mom, Akira stated that Brenay looked at her and said, "Yeah, you better get her before I da 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 da." Tim told Brenay. Akira stated that she had many job opportunities. She was not able to get her dream job because they do Google searches and background checks. Akira says she really wanted that job. They paid very well, and because of the hourly pay, that job was going to help her and her kids be able to move on their own. Unfortunately, the job denied Akira because they typed Akira's name in the Google search. The lawsuit came up with Brenay. Her criminal conversations came up. The charge that was filed on Akira against Brenay came up, and also the live with with Tim's mom and Brenay's mom talking about Akira's mental.
So now you see where the lawsuit is beginning to gain merit. She, Akira, was unable to get a job because of all of this foolishness that was going on between her husband and Brenay.
Health. So unfortunately, they denied Akira, and Akira was not able to get the job. Brenay asked Akira how was their friendship. Akira explained to her that they were very, very close until all of this happened. Brenay said to Akira, "Wasn't you guys already going through issues like this? You already had situations like this." Baby, Akira lost her mind. She kept it cute. I didn't write Akira's responses down because it was going so fast. Brenay kept cutting off Akira. The judge had to kind of stop and fix Brenay up, and Brenay kept trying to answer questions for Akira. Attorney Robin kept objecting.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Brenay is representing herself in this court case. And we all know an a client who represents themselves in court has a fool for a client, right? That's how the saying goes, or something to that effect. But Brenay is in court representing herself. I guess they don't pay too much on social media because why doesn't she have an attorney? Like, this is very popular. I'm sure someone would have taken her case on, or maybe not. Maybe it's not popular enough. I don't know. But at any rate, I guess she couldn't afford an attorney. So she's representing herself. And she's actually questioning the wife about how Tim already was cheating. Hmm.
And it was just so much going on. Tim did state in text messages that were proven, Tim stated that Brenay Kennard means absolutely nothing to him. Brenay asked Akira, what is she losing now that Tim is gone? Baby, I lost it. Brenay asked Akira, why does Akira feel like she doesn't need to take accountability? Akira stated that her marriage, it was not messed up due to her, but it was because of the infidelity and the alienation of affection. My husband had a mistress the whole time that I never knew about, that they pretended that they were so close to be brothers and sisters. It also took my children away from a two-parent household and basically left us to struggle behind. And all I wrote after that was that immediately, Brenay gave Akira a piece of paper that Brenay went to Akira's Facebook and printed out a post that Akira made. And the post was basically saying, it was back in July, Akira was basically said that when they found all this out, that her and Devin was going to take a trip, a cruise to celebrate their divorce or whatever. And the judge asked Brenay, what does that have to do with this case? Y'all, Brenay didn't know what the hell to say. She was sitting up there looking dumber. So they kept on going. Like, Brenay really needs a lawyer. She needs a lawyer. The judge asked her, what does this have to do with anything? Y'all, Brenay is so illiterate. She sounds dumb. And if you missed it earlier, everybody on Reddit, be careful. Lakeisha is trying to start drama with the courts and saying that it was people from Reddit recording and putting audios out there. They are trying their best so that this case can end in a mistrial. And is about to get ready to testify as soon as Brenay is done. Tim did get arrested for having a knife in his pocket. He went and grabbed it and then tried to come back in the building. They did arrest him downstairs. They had both of his hands handcuffed to the front as they were patting him down before they walked him out. Again, y'all.
So Tim is so scary. He's so scared of all those women down there because again, there's a lot of uh, people down there observing the court case and reporting back on TikTok. So there's a lot of spectators down there. Some of them are heckling Tim and Brenay, but Tim actually took a knife to court. Like, who doesn't know you can't take a knife into court? So they arrested his fat. Okay, let me be nice.
Be careful from TikTok to Reddit, X, Instagram, everybody just please be careful. Be careful. It was a video of Brenay and Tim lying on a couch in a marital home of Akira and Tim. It was a video that Akira found while doing her taxes, which is how she discovered the other videos. They played the video. Brenay was laying on Tim in a cuddle position under a cover. What is it? This was all parties were still legally married. Akira stated that the last time she slept with Tim was in April of 2024. Robin presented Brenay with an exhibit. Brenay says she never seen that exhibit. Robin testified that she sent it to Brenay twice. Brenay objected. Objection was overruled. Video number 383. They show a video of Tim and Brenay in the marital bathroom. Tim had his shirt off. Brenay was bent over, rubbing her bottom on. Tim grabbed her from the back and kind of did it like as if they were.
Hey, hey, M3, we're going over the Tim and Brenay debacle, honey. It is a lot. As I've stated earlier, Peach McIntyre made the comment, "Oh, I have TikTok on lock. You can't go over there without seeing me on the FYP." This is not true at all. Brenay and Tim, uh, they have TikTok on lock. This whole Brenay and Tim situation has been a thing since about last year. Brenay stole Tim, her childhood sweetheart. She stole him back from his wife, Akira. And now she is in court fighting for her life, basically, because Akira has sued her for $1 million for alienation of affection. Y'all, I'm glad they don't have that in Cali, although I'm not trying to steal anybody's husband. You heard about them? Oh my gosh, honey. And people love to hate her, just like Peach McIntyre. And after we get done reacting to the updates, the court updates, I'm going to tell you why uh, Brenay is just like Peach, in my opinion. So stay tuned for that. We're almost done with the video. Yes, it is going to be a trial to remember. And you know what? Makes the game so cold because you're listening to this. If you go to TikTok, it's going to be all over your FYP. I'm sorry, guys. But I just found it interesting. I've been over on TikTok the last couple of days. Usually I only go to TikTok to make videos that I'm gonna um, put everywhere else. I don't have a big following on TikTok, so I'm only on TikTok really just to see what's trending, and then I'll make my videos and use the trending sounds or whatever and put them on my YouTube and on my Facebook. Same thing with Instagram. I only use the editors to make videos and then I put them everywhere else. And that's how my videos kind of end up on TikTok and Instagram. But while I'm over there scrolling and looking through the trending videos, here comes Brenay on my timeline. And I see enough of it. And I'm like, let me go talk about it to the money getters, see if they get a kick out of this stuff because it is a lot. It is a lot. And we're halfway through the video, guys.
The little playing back and forth, back and forth. Akira did state that she was at work. The children were in the other room. Tim was actually, Akira stated that Tim was supposed to be at work. Tim had told his job that he needed time off due to a death in his family, which was true, but he actually never showed up to the funeral because he decided to stay at home with Brenay instead.
M3. I don't know if they're really cousins or play cousins, but they were saying they were cousins. They were saying they were cousins, and Tim and Brenay were saying they were like brother and sister. Y'all, they are something else. And Tim, did you guys hear this? He told his job he had to go to a funeral, and or about his family member losing his a family member, and he never even showed up at the funeral. He stayed home to kick it with Brenay at his house where him and his wife Akira lived in front of their children. So while Akira is at work, Tim is at home playing footsies with Brenay. Hey,
They played
Allison,
a
thanks
video
for tuning
when
in.
Brenay spent 2 weeks in Wilton. You looked over at Lakeisha. Lakeisha was looking very, very disgusted. Akira told Devin. Akira was told that Devin was with them every single time that Brenay and Tim would go to the store together. It was proved that that was a lie. Devin was only with them one time, and that was at Target. Or no, I'm sorry, Home Depot. That was at Home Depot. Akira had a family member from New York that was scrolling through TikTok and seen the video about Tim and seen the video about Tim and Brenay going shopping together privately. They sent it to Akira's mom. Akira's mom brought it to Akira's attention. That's when all of this started. We looked over at Tim. Tim was crying. His eyes was red and he flooded. During the Ota video, it was
Why was Tim crying? And girl, when they say the wife is always the last to know, like you didn't feel anything, Akira. Like when that lady would refuse to leave your house, you didn't think nothing of that. Like you didn't think anything of her making your man the plate and not making her own man the plate. You didn't think nothing. Like it's crazy, yo. Oh, right. Just to chill with Nene all the way out of pocket. You should see what he looks like. They are a trip.
stated that Tim was actually helping Brenay pick out a perfume for herself because he wanted Brenay to smell a certain way. They played the video where Brenay was answering questions and answers about Akira on Snapchat. Um, they played that video. She has a restrainer.
They all were hanging out, Allison. They all were hanging out on double dates. Brenay and Akira would go out shopping. When Akira got sick, Brenay would come over and help with the children. At some point, she were acting like those were her god kids, or she said something like that. Now, all of a sudden, those were never her god kids. And, you know, and how she excuses her behavior is, well, Tim was already cheating. So, and why did you have to cheat with him too? But guess who Tim was already cheating with?
Order against out on Brenay. So that was not, the judge was not happy about that.
Rich, let me tell you something. And listen, when I was married and when I was in serious relationships, and I've only had like a couple, this was my favorite saying. If I think it, it is so. I don't even need someone to tell me. I just start thinking. And you don't even have to be doing anything. I just get a feeling like, because my ex-husband used to tell me I was slow to respond because of course I was slow to respond. I was a mom, I was working, I was probably in college, in grad school, I probably was running a blog. I was doing a million and one things. So you could have ran circles around me, but I ain't no I ain't no punk bitch. Okay? I am not a punk bitch at all. When I finally do lay down and I finally do get quiet and I start thinking about stuff, I'll be like, hold up, wait a minute. Why did you say so and so? And what wait a minute. And I start putting 3 plus 2 and coming up with 10 and it makes sense. It all makes sense. If I say 3 plus 2 is 10, it all makes sense. What you doing? Okay, you're not gonna tell me what you're doing. That means I need to go snooping. I need to check your phone, and then I need to get down to some get down to some get down. Hey Denise, what's going on tonight? We are talking about Brenay Kennard and Tim Montague. If you are not in the know, Brenay is out of, what is she out of? North Carolina, guys. M3. She's in North Carolina, and in North if you are from the state of North Carolina and if your husband cheats on you, you can actually sue his lover for alienation of affection. And Brenay is being sued for $1 million for stealing her husband. Well, did I tell you guys that Tim and Brenay are now married? As soon as they both got divorced, Brenay and Tim got married. Baby, baby, sure did get married like butter would won't melt.
Brenay objected. Her objection was sustained.
$1 million, Denise.
Akira stated again the type of restraining order she has placed on Brenay, stated the reason she doesn't want Brenay posting her children. Brenay objected. Her objection was overruled. Tim and Lakeisha then put their heads down right after that. They then played the video and submitted it to evidence when Brenay said Tim is worth it. I don't know why y'all keep making this about Tim, but he is worth it. He's worth every bit of it. Brenay objected.
You hear that? So for the past year, and again, Carisha Wood baby mama, you need to take notes from Akira. Akira said nothing. She remained humble. She remained unbothered the whole time. Brenay was on social media defending herself, saying that she wasn't worried about the lawsuit. And even if it did make it to court, Tim was worth it. He was worth every bit of it, every penny of the $1 million. She said that Akira was so bothered by her. Of course, she would be bothered by you. You were lying and you were deceptive and you were sleeping with her husband the whole entire time you wanted her husband. Of course, I would be bothered. I would have a problem with you if I allowed you into my home around my children and I went out shopping with you. I went on double dates with you. And now you're married to my ex-husband and the man that I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with. Are you cool? Right. I'm gonna be Inspector Gadget all the time. But nowadays, Rich, if I have to be Inspector Gadget, then you gotta go. I don't even want to do all that. I don't want to play all those games. My sister was asking me, she said, well, what are you doing nowadays? Are you dating? And I said, yeah, I don't really care to, like really get too deep into anybody. If it's not working or it doesn't seem like it's going okay, then no, I'm good. I don't want to do all that stuff and play all those type of games. Like I'll know what's when somebody is really for me, and they won't play games like that. They won't play games. I won't have to snoop through their phone. I won't have to scan through their social media. I won't even be worried about that because what we have going on is so cool that I'm not even doubting him. So, and if that doesn't happen for me, I'm cool with that too. I'm really Gucci right now. Really, really. So, but yeah, this right here is a whole fool, you guys. What do you guys think of what you're hearing so far about Brenay? Like, she's really, like I said, she's not even 30 yet. I think Brenay may be 25 or 26. I think she's like 26, so she's very young. But even at 26, I don't think I was that clueless about life. I wouldn't have slept with somebody else's husband. I wouldn't have done that. That's number one. At 26, I wasn't doing no shit like that. Number two, if I was going to do something, I would have enough wherewithal to be discreet and keep it private. I wouldn't do it to the point where I'm getting sued. And number three, I wouldn't do it all over social media. I would be like, I feel like people have no shame these days. Like people just get online and say and do whatever for a click and a view and $1. That's facts. So nobody want to be playing detective all day. Like I always told my exes, if you're not ready for this, then go do you and get it. get it all out right, because we don't have all day. Like, I'm not gonna wait around. I don't have all day. It's 8 billion people on this earth. I always say each one of us have at least 100 people that is the one for us. Now they may be in China or Australia, and we may not come across them. Right? We may only come across like 5 or 10, if that, maybe one. What are the odds, right? And when I say that are for us, I mean the one that is our perfect match, the one that fits us. Not saying that they are just like us, but they are compatible with us. They suit our needs, right? And we love them and they love us. And I think a lot of us miss our mark when it comes to love, because we hold on to those people who are just not for us. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That person is just not for you. And if you hold on too long to the wrong person, then you can't see that. Um, and I feel like with this situation, Brenay's husband Devin, he was holding on. He could see and he knew and he was hearing things, and he still tried to make it work with his wife. And Akira kind of did the same thing because she already had children by this man, and she really wanted it to work. And I think that's something that we all may go through if we are married with children, especially. We want it to work because we have this ideal about what our future looks like and how we based our future on this family, right? So when it doesn't work out, it's hard to let go. However, I don't think children want to be raised in a home that's broken. I also don't think that your child will want you to stay with a spouse who is breaking your heart or who is making you miserable. Who is that working for? You know what I mean? Renee getting me mad as hell. And I want to have a sit down to shake her a little bit to right, right, right. She's just like so clueless, like a whole bimbo out here. Like, how do you think it's okay to sleep at? You guys haven't heard the half.
Objection was overruled. Akira stated that she was the main provider financially for the children. Brenay objected. Objection overruled. Tim put his head down. He was crying and shit. Oh, my bad. He was crying and shit. Video exhibit 390.
Why was Tim crying? I thought you wanted to leave your wife and go be with Brenay. What are you crying for?
One, Akira invites them to the vow renewal. I'm pretty sure y'all do remember that video. Tim actually brought it to Akira that she wanted to. Okay, so Tim brought it to Akira that he wanted to renew the vow. So they did play that video. It was stated that Brenay has been in the children's life since Jacoby was 2, so about since 2019. Akira did state that when she had her daughter, she was not always able to do certain things. So, hey, Akira. Unfortunately, Brenay would be the babysitter.
So when Akira had her second child, Brenay was the babysitter helping her out. When Akira and Tim renewed their vows, Brenay was there, present for the vow renewal ceremony. Like, girl, like, it doesn't get any more scandalous than this. This is like a reality show. It's like one of those soap operas. When I tell you, honey, the things I would have done to Brenay.
Okay, Akira said he got Tim was Tim was with Tim was with Brenay when Akira didn't know. There were times that Tim would be with Brenay when Akira did not know. Brenay posted something on social media, which they didn't play a video, but that's how she found out that Tim was with Brenay at one point in time. Akira stated that she texted and called Brenay. Brenay never replied. Instead, when she did reply,
Y'all, hold on to your seats for this one. What Brenay told Akira.
it was only to the message when Akira asked, "Do you and Tim have something going on?" Brenay's response was, "Akira, stop texting my phone." Blocked her.
So I bleeped that out. But when Akira called Brenay, like, look, do you got something going on with my man? Brenay told Akira, man, quit calling my phone with that BS. And then she blocked her.
Somehow she ended up, I guess, unblocking her, and Brenay then, Akira then sent another message stating something about her husband and not to be around her children, not to post her children. Brenay's response to Akira was that Timothy is not her husband, and she put a kissy face emoji.
That's not Timothy is not your husband. How can you tell somebody's wife that their husband is not their husband? Like, people do not believe in karma these days. What you reap, what you sow is what you will reap. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. How can you think that you can play dirty like this and you are going to have good luck follow you or blessings or whatever you want to call it? And again, Brenay is someone who was all into God and gospel music, and this is what she's doing. And yes, God will forgive her because God is a forgiving God, but there are also consequences for our actions. And I hope she knows that. This reminds me when Brenay told Akira, that's not your husband. That reminded me of Peach telling Wood's first baby mama that her baby was a mistake baby. Like these women, the things they will do for these men. And this is why I say, too, and I'll talk more about this when this video is over. Women, some women, it's not even the man that they want. They want to feel like they are winning at something. They feel so incomplete, so what's the word I want to use? So inadequate that if they are not competing with another woman for a man's affection and they don't have a man as the prize, right? Because this man isn't paying Brenay's bills, he isn't paying child support for Akira, and here they are both fighting over this man. Akira is now suing Brenay, rather, but basically fighting over this man. Now Akira wants to make Brenay pay for this loser that treated you like this, that stormed into the hospital with his homies and snatched your kids from you. This is someone who had another woman in your home sleeping with her children present. You need to move on with your life and let him have whatever life he deserves. For real, for real. I know it hurts. That's gotta hurt. This is the kind of stuff that can make you go insane to be treated like this by someone.
Then she reblocked Akira. Tim and Akira were still sexually active as of March 2024. Akira stated. Tim asked if Brenay, Akira stated that one time Tim asked if Brenay could stay over due to a confrontation that Brenay and Devin had. Brenay lied about Devin putting his hands on her and bucking up to her, which is how she made her way into Akira's home because Akira had sympathy for her and wanted her to be safe as a friend. Brenay lied and said that she could not open an audio that Robin sent to her twice. Now we're moving on to Devin. It was stated by Devin in the audio that Brenay says she's never lost feelings for Tim. Brenay has been around Tim and Akira since 2019. It was stated that in 2019 that Tim and Akira to poll occasions, like a lot of occasions, more than 10 and 20.
Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, Rich. Have a good night. Get you some sleep. Have a good night. Listen, remember I told you that Brenay has a twin sister, Corinne, who looks very similar. They look almost identical. Corinne is just a little smaller than Brenay. But the whole entire time, he was cheating Tim, this Tim Montague brother. He was also cheating on his wife Akira with Karen, Brenay's twin sister. And Brenay and Karen don't really speak right now. Y'all, I cannot make this up.
It was stated that this is the reason that Brenay has issues with her twin sister, Corinne Kennard. Devin actually did know about Tim and Corinne's little affair, but out of respect for Akira's feelings, he did feel bad about it, but he didn't tell her until later. But it was stated that Corinne and Tim has had, you know what, multiple times, like so many times, they said. December 2023, it says Brenay cries and tells Devin, she says that she doesn't want to hate Tim because she still loves him.
So they broke up when they were like kids, 10 years before, but the whole time, Brenay is still carrying a torch for Timothy, as she calls him. But Brenay is now married to Devin, and her sister has two children, and she's not in a relationship, and she starts sleeping with Tim. So Brenay gets jealous because, as she told her husband Devin, I still have feelings for him. She told her she still have feelings for him. And when the sister started sleeping with her sweetheart, her childhood sweetheart, I guess she jumped into action and said, you know what, I want him back, and I'm gonna get him back.
She had Devin stated that Brenay and Tim would have phone conversations. Devin would be asleep sometimes, and her and Tim would still be up in the other room in Devin's house talking and talking and talking. Devin stated that there was a time where Tim came over to spend the night. When Tim arrived, Brenay was smiling from ear to ear. Tim blew up an air mattress and put it in the other room. Devin wanted Brenay to sleep with him. When Devin woke up in the middle of the night, he found that Tim and Brenay were actually sleeping in the same room on the air mattress together in his house. With
You guys hear this? So Brenay had Tim come over, all right, over to her house with her husband. And instead of her sleeping in the bed with her husband, she goes into the next room with Tim and sleeps with her husband in the next room. Like, the type of things that they are doing are very dangerous. You can't play with someone's feelings and emotions like this. People have been known to do a lot worse for something very small. I wouldn't play those type of games. I wouldn't play those type of games with somebody's heart like that. I mean, I would be afraid actually to do something crazy like that.
the door closed. Devin stated that there were times where Tim would go up to Riley by himself. He was not at home. Devin stated that there was a time where the children, the minor children, were there with Brenay, and it was just the minor children, Tim and Brenay. I don't know if y'all remember. I posted that video on my other page. Devin stated that there was a time at his house at 3 o'clock in the morning where he woke up in the middle of the night and found Tim and Brenay on the couch, kiki kakaing. There was an incident where Devin stated that he went up to Brenay was with Akira and them already. Tim had came and picked up Brenay on Thursday, and she was so happy and jolly. So Devin said he noticed something. So he wanted to see what was going on. So he actually took a trip that Friday. She got picked up Thursday by Tim. Devin went up there Friday. She told Devin not to touch her and to kiss her ahead of time. Like when Devin got out the car, Devin stated that Brenay was already telling him, "Don't touch me, don't kiss me." Devin also
Brenay would say, oh, you guys don't know how Devin was. His mother even told him, look, if you don't change, you're going to lose Brenay. You're going to lose her. And it doesn't seem like Devin was doing anything wrong. It seemed like he was trying to love his wife. It seems like Brenay was the one that was taking her husband for granted.
stated that there was a time where Brenay and Tim was going to go to the store. Devin said that he was going to go with them. Brenay said, I don't know why. I'm not putting you in my videos. I'm only putting me and Tim. Brenay, never opened it.
It wasn't even that they just cheated on their spouses. When they walked away and left their spouses, they did so with extreme cruelty. Like this is some snap level type get down. Where if Akira or Tim would have snapped, it would have been completely understood. But I'm glad that they did not, because Tim and Brenay are not worth 1 day of jail, 1 day of stress. They did the right thing by losing weight, and I know they still have probably some trauma, because this is traumatic for someone to mistreat you, misuse you, and abuse you, and basically torture your heart like they did. They Akira deserves every last dime that she's asking for.
Devin stated that he had bought Brenay a new wedding ring at one point of time, still trying to fight for his marriage and his wife. He said that Brenay never opened the wedding ring. Instead, she opened a gift from her little friend. It was stated that around or
So here Devin is buying her rings and she doesn't even open them. And yet Tim doesn't even work. She has to support Tim.
on MLK Day, Tim picked up Brenay. I said that already. He picked up Brenay on Thursday. And okay, I said that already. Days later, it was stated that Brenay wanted to separate from Devin. She did not want a divorce, but she just wanted to physically separate so that she can try to find other people and see if they would work out for her. Devin knew that that was a lie. He knew that Brenay only wants Tim over there. Devin stated that Brenay was always smiling ear to ear when she heard that Tim would be coming over there or coming to pick her up, more than she would smile when there was things going on between her and Devin. Devin did state that Brenay was his first relationship ever, his first love, first girlfriend, all that. Devin stated that when he was in the room and Brenay and Tim was in the couch, he heard Brenay ask Tim, if I give you another chance, will you take it? Devin said he rose up. He didn't know if he should smack the shit out of them or just calm down. Brenay then asked Devin, if me and Tim were to get back together, how would you feel?
She asked her husband if she were to get back with her childhood sweetheart, how would he feel?
There was a time where Devin stated that Tim came over to Devin's house. Him and Brenay again slept on the couch. So this actually happened a few times. Tim was coming over there and vice versa. And everybody was just sleeping by themselves. Tim and Brenay were sleeping together. Devin said before the date of separation and before the date of divorce, he noticed that Brenay changed Tim's contact name to Baby in her phone. Tim was still legally married to Akira when this happened and was still legally living with Akira when this happened. She changed Tim's name to Baby in her phone. Devin stated that Brenay, I don't know if y'all remember, Brenay made a video on TikTok and put basically she stayed an extra day over at Tim's and Akira's. Devin stated because she just wanted to be with Tim as long as she could. The judge, Attorney Robin stated that there were also messages between defendant's sister and Timothy Montague. Correct.
So there are also text messages that are going to hopefully be read between Renee twin sister Corinne um, and Tim, but they haven't decided if they're relevant or not. Or hold on, guys. So yeah, that's basically it. Now, how do I feel about all of this? I just feel like, wow. But all is fair in love and war, as they said. But this was like, I don't know. This was guerrilla warfare. I can understand. Well, I could have understood it better if they had respect for their spouses. I already cheating on your husband or wife is disrespectful to the nth degree, especially when, and that's why people say, "Oh, I only deal with married people. I don't deal with single friends." Sometimes you can have other married couples, and that man will be looking at his friend's wife, and vice versa. So that doesn't, really bode well sometimes either. I guess you just have to make sure that the people that you are friends with are solid, and you have to trust your instincts from day one. If you see something or you feel a certain way, listen to your gut and cut ties. Cut ties, because why would they play those type of games? And then they didn't even do it to the point where people maybe thought they were doing it or probably had a feeling they were doing it. They got on social media and rubbed the relationship in their spouses' faces, and their spouses had to endure that humiliation in front of the whole world, even though most people were on their side. Most people took Devin's side, and most women took Akira's side. Nobody was really on Brenay and Tim's side. However, to have to go through that hurt and that pain in front of the whole world, uh, again, Brenay has like 3 million uh you TikTok followers, and I think she has maybe like 300,000 followers on Facebook. I don't know about Snapchat, Snapchat and Instagram, but she has a lot of followers. I don't know. If it was me, I don't know if I would sue her, but she would definitely have to catch these hands coming up to the hospital trying to snatch my kids or posting my kids on her TikTok. Women have that, like, that's bold to play with somebody's kids like that. You can have the man all you want to, but don't play with my kids. Now you are walking on, skating on thin ice. Now you are, you know, now you want to see the real me come out. You want to see a side of me that you would never expect to see. Because why are you playing with my kids? And why are you letting her play with your kids like that? Like these men, again, the Jezebel spirit is something else. It will have these men acting and behaving in such a way that they probably don't even know what's going on. They don't even realize that spirit is on them. Because why would you let another woman disrespect your wife and your kids? It used to be a time when you didn't mess with somebody's wife. Like even if he cheated with you, oh, you didn't go calling their house. These women will call the house, ask, oh, let me speak to so and so. Will call and disrespect the wife. Will show up knocking at the wife's door. You know what I mean? Having babies by the way. I could never have a baby by somebody's husband. Like, are you kidding me? These women want to compete. They want to be pregnant when you're pregnant. They want to call your house. They want to make it like they have a carte blanche to do whatever. Like your man is really their man. It's a lot, y'all. But like I said, she reminds me a lot of Peach McIntyre in that they're both narcissists, for one. Two, they act like sociopaths in that they don't care about other people's feelings, or they act like they don't have emotions, or like only what they think and feel should matter. You get what I'm saying? And also, they remind me of one another because it seems like they'll do anything for social media. A lot of what they do in real life, in my mind, goes back to what they're doing on social media. So, say for instance, in real life, they probably would never behave this way, but because they are doing it for an audience, they're going to do this or act a certain way to the 10th degree. Like Brenay may not otherwise show up at Tim's kids' preschool graduation, but because she knows it's going to end up on social media, she knows somebody's going to record her and post it. Okay, now I'm showing up. Now I'm showing up at his divorce hearing. Now I'm showing up everywhere I can possible to let it be known that this is my man. And like I said, they are married as of 9/11. Like who picks 9/11? Who picks 9/11 as the day to get married? Well, Tim and Brenay did. And now they are man and wife. They are solid. I don't know if they're going to have a wedding or if they did or not. It's not on social media. hmm It is not on social media. But yes, I feel like Carisha, honey, I feel you for coming out and speaking out against Peach and taking up for your daughter. I definitely feel you. But when you're dealing with narcissists like this who have a social media platform and who are going to basically feed off of whatever you're saying, like in Peach McIntyre's case, she's feeding off of Wood's baby mama. So she's doing what she's doing so that she can get more content. Every time Carisha responds, then Peach can respond off of that. She can take that and use it for 2 or 3 days worth of content. Same thing with Brenay. Like you already have a restraining order on you where you're not supposed to talk about Akira or her kids or post them. So that's your way out of never having to speak about them. But when somebody comes to you and starts saying something on your page, then you respond and you react because you know it's going to be all over social media and then people will come to your channel. But que sera, sera, I don't know. Um, People got to have more shame. People got to have more self respect, and people have to respect each other more, especially if you're like Brenay and you're going to talk about God and listen to gospel all the time on your platform. What happened to those morals and values and that foundation that you know? And like I said, I know things happen. I know I'm not perfect, and I know that people are not perfect. Things happen, and part of those things are adultery. Unfortunately, adultery happens, and for whatever reason, people move on, and sometimes those relationships they endure the test of time and they stay together. And you got to just move on with your life and just pray for them and pray for yourself and not dwell on that because if you do, then you'll miss the opportunity to be happy. But yes, I definitely wish Carisha would have been quiet and just went ahead and took Peach McIntyre to court because she would have had a case for cyberbullying, for one, and harassment. And also, she can still take all those videos that Peach is making and bragging about evading child support. She can take those videos right to court and they will escalate the procedures to get that money for her. But the baby mom said, I work anyway. I'm not waiting on that money every month. It's back pay anyway. I'm not waiting on that. But if you got it like that, just pay me all of it. Pay me all of it that's due. But I wouldn't even be asking. I wouldn't have said a word. I'm like, oh, you got it like that? You rich like that? Okay. Me and my daughter want that. We need that. I would have been at the civil courthouse like this, Johnny on the spot, filing my paperwork. Okay, you want to play with me? You want to play with my baby? Okay, we're gonna see. I'm gonna play with your pockets now, and then you'll really have a reason to cry. And then I would have went right after I filed that. I would have went to the sheriff's station, and I would have filed charges against Peach for cyber bullying. And there's a law on the books for that in Florida. So there's more than one way to skin a cat, ladies. You do not have to play games with if your husband wants to cheat or if he has one of those women that think they're bullies and think that they can bully you and want to take your man, let them have him first of all, because if he's takeable, have him. if 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 I got to compete anyway, have them, and y'all can go on about your business. But put me on social media, put my children on social media, showing up for my children's events. Absolutely not. You don't need to be at anything that has to do with my child in support of your husband or not, or it's a problem. But that's it. That's all I have for tonight. I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this live. Let me know in the comments if you're on the replay and you made it this far. Please respond in the comments and I'll respond back to you. Also, don't forget the pajama party is this Saturday, November, what is it, 8th, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time until whenever we're going to have a ball. But you have to be a member, so make sure you join the memberships. That's pinned. The link to the memberships is pinned to my comments. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Thank you all. Have a blessed evening and a great night. I'll see you guys later on. I got a lot of good content coming your way. I just got to edit it, honey. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you are following me and you have your notifications set to all so you will see when I go live or when I upload new content. God bless everybody.